Kenny Golladay has made the trip from the Motor City to the big city and is now a New York football giant. So the question is, what's next? Kenny has been in Detroit since 2017 and has continually gotten better and better in a pass-dominated offense led by Matthew Stafford. If you look at the Lions, although they have not been one of the best teams in recent memory, or ever, they have always somehow had a constant string of great wideouts since the turn of the century. Going down the list, the Motor City has produced stellar wideouts from the forgotten Roy Williams to a monster in Megatron, to Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and of course Kenny Golladay. When Kenny was drafted to the Lions, he was far from alone in the wide receiver corps, as he was joining a solid group of talent in Golden Tate and a young and up-and-coming Marvin Jones Jr. So early in his career, Kenny was not even close to the top of the food chain, but made some definite strides as a rookie with over 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. Following a decent start to his career, Kenny decided to go crazy in 2018 with over 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns, with Golden Tate heading to Philly mid-season. After breaking out in his sophomore year, Kenny had taken control of the offense and killed it with nearly 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns, the most of any wideout in the league somehow. But anyways, Kenny had become one of the best wideouts in the league and was ready for an insane 2020 year until hip and hamstring injuries, along with COVID, derailed a seemingly ridiculous year in the making. Although injured, because of the end of his rookie deal, Kenny was on the lookout for a new spot, with the Bears, Bengals, and Giants all after him. Although the idea of Kenny with the Bears seemed enticing, he was looking for some moolah and because of it signed a 5-year, $80 million deal and became a Giant. Okay, so now that we've gone on the journey throughout Kenny's NFL career, I figure it's the right time to talk about him in New York. Although Kenny signed a Giant contract, the Giants further strengthened the wide receiver corps even more so, with Florida star kadarius Toney joining the wide receiver corps through the draft. Along with Kadarius and Kenny, the Giants have some solid depth, with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton creating a dangerous offense in the big city. Upon that, New York has Saquon back, so they are looking to create some trouble in the NFC East. All of this is great, but you gotta keep in mind that the quarterback in control of it all is Daniel Jones, who just seems to be on the brink of doing well, but just needs a little boost. And you know what? Kenny might just be that. Kenny is a big dude at 6'4", 210, and uses all that size to his advantage, just like arguably one of the most dominant wide receivers of all time in Megatron. The more and more Kenny leaned into his dominance in toss-ups and jump balls in general, the more he was able to develop as a player. Not only does Kenny just kill it in those situations, but unlike guys like Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams, he has the ability to stretch the field, and because of it, he is extremely difficult to guard. Over the past few years, the Giants have been one of the biggest laughingstocks in the league, and have consistently deteriorated until Joe Judge was hired and the Giants were playoff bound. Keep in mind it's the NFC East.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
But anyway, even with Saquon's injury, the team looked better than it had been previously, and hopefully the new additions lead the team to some potential playoff success. But if we're being honest, it's best to keep expectations low. I mean, they went 6-10 last season. But there's always potential for a team to go off when you least expect it. Although Kenny Golladay is an extremely talented wide receiver, based off the success of the Lions in the past few years, he's just flat out not good enough to win games by himself. And no one really is. Even though Kenny may not be able to completely flip a franchise by himself, he now has some help, and the new management seems pretty dang aware of what they're doing. Not only has the team got Kenny and Kadarius, but they quietly picked up Kyle Rudolph out of retirement to bolster up the receiving corps. Although an upgraded unit, there's still a lot of young talent littered throughout that will need to improve, and it just comes with time. Usually the question of how long comes down to the people behind the scenes, and not so much the players, as evidenced in Detroit. So it'll be interesting to see what's next with the Giants. But anyways, enough of this serious talk, and I'm truly excited to see Kenny in Detroit, and I think he will be a great addition to a depleted core. Upon that, I think he will spread the offense much more than how it was before, with Saquon carrying the entire team on his back, and hopefully dominate just like OBJ did around 5 years ago. Now that we talked about all the additions and the background behind the New York situation, let's try and speculate what's next for Kenny and the Giants. First and foremost, I think it's an easy prediction to say that Kenny G will do his thing, and in my opinion, if he does get injured, he could easily have around 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. Keep in mind that he's in the same offense as Kyle Rudolph, Kadarius Toney, and Saquon Barkley, so this may even be a stretch, but I'll stay the course. Now, if we're looking at the Giants as a whole, I'm expecting some good things to come out of the Big Apple with Saquon back, and some solid additions that will carry the team to a much better year than they had before. So with that in mind, I have the Giants going 9-8 with the revamped 17-game season. Although it may seem like a bit of a jump to go from 6 wins to 9, with one extra game, it isn't too much of a stretch, along with the star running back and a brand new receiving corps ready to go ham. Kenny Golladay is ready to show what he's made of in a whole new city, and I, for one, am ready for the show.
Kenny Golladay leaps for it. He held on for a touchdown, Lions!
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, it would be awesome if you could subscribe, like, and comment what stuff you guys want next. But anyway, see you guys on Tuesday, and peace out.